removing my thoughts about will a man want me? Like, will I want a man? You know, like, you know, I started switching it for myself and just being a little delulu for like
real
a year. You know, I was a little delulu. Like, as long as I keep telling myself this, one day I'm gonna feel it. And then one day I just felt it.
You're listening to Big Sis Energy.
Welcome back to Big Sis Energy. I'm your host, Makenzie.
And I'm your other host, Malia. And today we have a very special guest, YouTube sensation, confidence and relationship coach, Miss Taty Cokley.
Yeah.
Hey, boo. You're so cute.
So nervous.
Don't be, girl.
That was
I'm
such an intro.
So excited for today's episode.
Oh, yeah. We're going to get into some things.
Oh,
I already know.
Oh, we getting into it.
We
I'm
are.
like, should we just like jump into it right now?
Should we? What do we start with?
I'm like, okay, we got a question. This is actually from kind of Malia and I.
Okay.
When did you discover your personal self-confidence?
Oh, girl. How long do we have? Okay, so boom. Was super insecure growing up. Actually, let me reel it back. As a little girl, little cocky little girl, you know what I mean? And my mom's very like, love you, mom, but like very Kris Jenner vibe. Like very, was putting me in crop top. And, like, you know what I mean? Like it was so cute. I loved myself. Then I went to school, like school. And I was in a super white area. And so I felt like the sore thumb. It was like, okay, wait, maybe I'm not as cute as I thought.
Relatable. Because none of the boys.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They wasn't
I know.
feeling me.
Yeah, we know that a little too well.
You know? And even in, I feel like even in like first grade, like they were all having like relationships, like little boyfriends and stuff. And I was like, where's mine? You know?
When's my moment?
Yeah. So that's when it started to hit me. And I was like, okay, maybe I'm not as cute as I thought. And then I was crushing. And then I got older and then like life hit, you know? And so long sappy story short, I was misdiagnosed with premature ovarian failure. And so which is basically like your ovaries just is not messing with you. Like they don't want to talk to you. So they told me like, oh, you're not gonna be able to have kids and all this stuff. And that really like shook me because I was 13. So I'm like, girl, what? You know, I thought
that's
I was
scary
coming
news. Like any age you are,
And
like,
you
I
know,
I'd be like, what?
Especially I felt like I was 13 going on 30. I was like, what? Like I came in there for a checkup, girl, you know? So
Wow.
that was crazy.
Yeah.
And then that just threw me off for the rest of my teenage years because not only was I already dealing with feeling like a sore thumb, now I'm dealing with feeling like not enough as a woman. And like now the boys really aren't going to like me because I can't get pregnant and, you know, all of that stuff. So I think like towards the ends of my teenage years and like once I got to college and I was forced to be by myself, I realized like, okay, you can't live like this forever, girl. So I just took all my confidence outside of like external validation and brought it into myself. So I realized like all my complaints were about other people. Like, oh, will a man like me? Oh, the other girls look better than me. But like, what about you? You know? So I started to do like journaling and removing my thoughts about will a man want me? Like, will I want a man? You know, like, you know, I started switching it for myself and just being a little delulu for like
Real
a year. You know, I was a little delulu. Like, as long as I keep telling myself this, one day I'm going to feel it. And then one day I just felt it. And then I started my YouTube channel.
Oh,
So that's what
I
happened.
love your YouTube channel, girl.
And she became a self-confidence coach.
Yeah.
Literally flipped the switch.
Yeah. Because I feel like, not to, you know, everybody is great in their own right, but I feel like some other like coaches or, you know, therapists even like it's just based off of schooling. Now I did go to school too. I got my degree.
Hey.
She educated baddie. You said this before.
But, you know, I also think experience is like so important in anything. Like I always say, like, let's say you had to get a surgery or something. Would you want to go to the doctor that like fresh got out of college or has done a few surgeries?
Oh, hell no.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, okay, I've been here before, girl. I
Right.
know what it feels like to literally like dislike yourself.
Go through it.
Yeah. And so I think that really helps me have more of a relationship with like my subscribers and like I relate to them as my sisters. I don't call them my subscribers because I've been there, done that, and I just like to be the big sister I didn't have. So it's really cool to be on Big Sis Energy. You know? I like the vibe.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh my gosh. No, and I think too, it's like, how do you have any like steps for people? Because I feel like I remember when I was younger and I cared so much about what everyone else thought about me.
Yeah.
But I didn't care what I thought about myself.
Right.
I didn't care about who
I feel like you
just
don't even
didn't-
have
yeah.
time to like stop and think about it. You're just like, oh, what do other people think about me? But you're like, oh, What do I think about myself?
Yeah, I think, well, it's going to sound literally crazy. See, now everybody's going to think I'm really delulu. But like, okay, sometimes I think we end up living in our heads more than we live in the present moment. Like, we're always thinking about what's happening next. What does this person think of me? What does this person think? And so something that I like to do is like literally pinch myself sometimes, like just random spots I know is going to hurt a little bit. And I pinch myself and I'm like, ooh. And I have to like, I'll pinch myself and I'll look down at my body just to remind myself like, I'm here. This is me. This is the only body I'm ever going to have. So what are we going to do with it? Like, and that's it. But I think sometimes you have to remove yourself from everything else around you. That's the first thing that I always tell people. And the better you are at being able to be like introspective, the better you're going to be at understanding yourself. And then the better you are at understanding everybody else.
I love that.
But you got to pause first and be like, okay, I'm willing to sit with my thoughts because it's not a fun time.
Because you have to realize, because I feel like when I was self-conscious and insecure, I didn't know I was self-conscious and insecure.
Yes.
I was just like, oh.
Yeah.
And I wasn't realizing that I'm thinking about, taking notes about what everyone else is talking about me.
Right.
When in reality, I need to think about who I am as a person.
Yes.
And be comfortable with yourself. Because once you sit down and you're alone and you're just with your own thoughts, that can be scary in the beginning. You have to get comfortable with being alone.
Girl, and that's terrifying. I think because a lot of us have a fear of abandonment. And sometimes people think like, oh, well, I had both my parents. Like, I don't have that. That does not mean nothing. Like, that really just because you had both your parents in the household doesn't mean you can't have abandonment issues. I had both my parents in my household, and I definitely had that fear. Like, I don't want a man to leave me. I don't want my friends to leave me.
Yes.
But, like, I always now say that, like, if you have yourself, like, you are so full. You're the best partner you could be to yourself.
Yeah.
You are the best friend that you could be to yourself, and you just have to dig it up.
Right.
It's in there. Like, you know you better than anybody else. So how could anyone else love you better than you?
Right.
You know?
And being independent is so powerful, you know?
Yes.
Like, especially like before going into a relationship, I'm like, I want to love myself and be independent before anything else.
Yes, period. I know that's right.
I know that's right.
Because that's hard.
Yeah.
That's definitely hard. Did you like take time to pause and be okay with that? Or do you feel like you just were born like that?
It's hard because I've always been a little bit more like introverted and independent, but I think, well, I'm actually recently like going through a breakup a little bit. So,
Girl, what?
yeah, I was like, this is new.
Oh, wait, hold on. I was just with y'all like last month.
I know.
Girl, God,
Yeah.
we'll talk later.
We'll get to the tea.
But yeah, I mean, like, obviously you're used to being with somebody and like, I have been independent, but then when you get used to somebody, you get dependent on them a little bit and like, they start becoming more of your life and it's just hard because I'm like, oh my gosh, like this person's not going to be a part of my life anymore, you know? And I feel like that was kind of like a wake up call for me because like, I was just like, dang. But I knew deep down that I did make the right decision.
Yeah.
But that's a hard thing because then I'm like, wow, like I have to go back to, being alone. And I'm like, okay, am I going to be alone forever?
Right.
But that's just me overthinking because I'm like, I know there's someone right out there for me. And like same for him as well,
Absolutely.
So it's like,
That's healthy.
that's how you have to look at it. Even though I think for me too, it's like taking the time to grieve it. I think for me, I'm like, I don't want to like move into things too fast, but like really feeling everything
right.
to like get over that person.
Yes. I love that you're doing that.
And even like in a non-relationship aspect, Malia and I, we've moved, when we were living with our parents, we moved 15 times.
Wow.
Like we moved a lot and we were uprooted and taken out of, our friends that we made. And then it was just like, oh, we're moving somewhere different. You're not going to have the same friends anymore.
Right.
And that was kind of constant and consistently happening in our life. And we were always like, oh, well, these people aren't going to be around forever.
Right.
Yeah.
And we had to get comfortable with ourselves, but also each other.
Yeah.
Because
Well, we got used to like picking up and leaving. So like for someone like to come into our life and come out, it was so normal.
It was
like
so
it was like, oh, okay. And we were just talking about this on the last episode, but like a lot of I guess Virgos are like very like they don't mind cutting people out.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's so true for Kenzie and I both because I'm like, if you are not like serving a purpose to me as like a friend,
Yes.
and I'm putting all of this effort in and you're doing nothing, like I'm sorry, goodbye. Like that's not a
Period.
friendship.
Yeah.
No, that's right. Yep. Very Virgo of you. I have a Virgo moon, so
oh.
I definitely understand. But I mean, first of all, good for you that you're handling everything so well. That was news to me. I tried to hold it, but girl, I was a little shook.
Oh, I know. I was like, that was just like a big bomb that I just dropped. I was like,
yeah, I'm like, wait, hold on, we'll chat. But I'm really proud of you for being able to be like, let me feel it and grieve it, because I think we skip that a lot.
yeah.
Like, anytime something feels bad, especially living in LA, I see it all the time. When something feels bad, people just run from it. It's like, oh, how can I distract myself? Let me go out more. Let me watch this type of TV more. Let me binge do this, and this. But you're feeling it. Because when you do that, girl, it's just going to pile up. And eventually it's going to come out in one way or another.
That's how I am.
In your next relationship,
That's
in your
what I was gonna say
friendships.
too.
That's
Like, I would hate for it to come up in another relationship and make that like the issue.
Right.
So if I can handle that now, then I won't have to worry about that in the future. You know,
That's
so mature.
That's how I used to be. Before I was in a long-term relationship, I used to think I didn't have emotions.
Right.
I was like, oh no, I don't get sad. I don't get angry. Yeah, I did. It took a while to boil over.
Right.
And
It was
pop.
in there.
It was in there.
Right.
It was in there.
That she
And
blacked out.
Once I started to allow myself to like more consistently feel my emotions, I became a lot healthier of a person. And I'm still learning. I'm still like, I feel like sometimes that part of me is still there.
Yeah.
Because I can get stressed really easily.
Yeah.
But like it'll just start like piling up because I won't do anything about it.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh wait, now I'm stressed.
Yes.
Because
You
it
need to let
piles.
yourself feel that though. Like all the emotions. I'm a crier. I'm gonna cry every time because I used to try to be like, I'm so tough. Nothing hurts me. Girl, stop be hurting my feelings. And I cry all the time. Literally, I don't even know if I want to say this. Very embarrassing. But yesterday I was in the car and
Oh no.
Girl, I was in the car with my friend. No, it's literally like you're gonna laugh. We were in the car and we were at a red light and there was like a rat in the middle of the road, right? And she was like, ew, oh my God, it's a rat. And I literally teared up and cried because I was like, why is it by itself? Like, where's its family?
girl, to a rat,
Girl, it's bad. Like, I mean, granted, it may be that time of the month, but I mean,
I
like,
understand.
you know, I just like, I'm like that because like, I don't know. I just feel like I always try to put myself in other people's shoes. And because I think that that's how you get the most out of like the human experience is by always trying to see other perspectives. So although a rat is not a person, I just thought about it. I was like, oh, he's by himself, like trying to feed himself. Like that must suck. And it just made me sad. And I feel like probably from years of not crying, I'm much more sensitive now. But I don't think crying is a bad thing. Like it wasn't like, oh my God, girl, now the whole day's thrown off. I need you to comfort me because I just cried about this rat. It's just like, no, I just needed to let that out real quick. Right. Fine.
Like I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good. Anyway, we can turn Ice Spice back on and it'll be fine. Like, you know?
Exactly.
I think people don't like to feel like negative emotions, like negative, like anger, sadness. But I feel like, how do you enjoy happiness without knowing sadness?
Right.
You know, how do you enjoy peace without feeling anger?
Yeah, because
Like,
then you kind of become numb to every emotion.
yeah,
You know.
I don't want that life.
Yeah. No.
I don't want that for me. I feel like I always use that an example of like a heartbeat, like on a monitor, and like you want it to go up and down. Like if it flatlines, girl, that's bad news. You don't want it to just be the same thing all the time. You want your ups, you want your downs. I learned so much from my downs. I learned from something every time I cry.
Yes.
And I'm okay with that.
I heavily relate,
That's so
especially
good.
with the crying thing. Like I feel like I used to never cry,
Mm.
and now I'm like, like after every little thing. Like we had the Briogeo meet and greet, and then after that they took us out to dinner. And at the end of dinner, we're about to head home, and I'm like, I just want to say, like, you women like really inspire me. Like you guys really like genuinely are such an amazing team, and like I feel so blessed to like be in your presence and be a part
really
of like,
are.
this experience. Like, and I just started tearing up, and I'm like, okay, like
Pull it together.
put it back.
No,
'cause
you are the crier because you're the reason Malia cried.
in the episode.
Yeah.
I know, right? But I used to never be like that, but now I'm
Yeah.
like letting my emotions flow.
Flow.
And they come more frequently. But I kind of like it.
It was nice.
It's
Did y'all feel
therapeutic.
better after crying when we did the episode?
Yes, I felt so good. I was like, wow, I didn't know I needed that.
Yes.
You know? Like that was so good
Yeah.
and needed for sure.
If y'all have not seen, Taty has a podcast, 1-800 Self-Love Club.
Period.
And
that
we
is
were-
the cutest name ever.
It
By the
really
way, I'm like,
is.
I love that. That is so cute.
And
I
she
just wanted to
featured
create
us.
like a nice space for the girlies because I feel like, especially like with hotlines and stuff, there's like hotlines for everything. But like, what about when you need like some confidence or some girl talk, you know?
Yeah.
And so I feel like that's the hotline we have. And I feel like I loved having y'all on because y'all have, you know, I never had a sister. So it was really nice to see y'all's like sisterhood. That's always what I craved. So it's so cool to see like real genuine love. Like, I'm sure you guys bicker and stuff, but for the audience, like, they really love each other. Like, and it was so nice to see, for real. Like, when y'all cried, just the support of each other, and just like her crying made you cry, and I was just like, I love women. Like, this is so cute.
It was such a special moment.
I know.
I'm so yeah.
The fact that we met too the last time, that was the first time we ever met, and I was like,
Yes.
I feel like you're my sister. Like, literally, like, you were so
Actually.
sweet. Actually, like, I was like, we love you.
Yeah, we talk about you all the time.
I know. Really,
Oh,
I'm like, Taty's my girl.
That's my girl. That's my girl. And I was like, oh my God, these are my like little sisters.
Oh.
You know, but you guys don't really feel like little sisters. You're very mature. But that's
Thank
probably
you.
because you've had to like move a lot and like deal with life itself.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Just getting like taken out of school too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
being put in different situations.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But we do have a few questions
Okay,
from
I know we just chatted.
Yes, I know. That was a good
From the
little
people.
catch up. But yeah, we have some questions from the people.
Okay.
These are good little like
Hey, guys.
girl talk questions. But when was your first kiss and was it awkward?
Oh my God.
Like, let's jump into it.
Gagged me. Oh my
She wasn't
God.
ready for that one.
Okay, I remember this like it was yesterday. First of all, it took me forever because the boys in my area did not like me. Okay, I had to get a car and start
Relatable.
going to the other towns before, you know, the towns around that were a little bit more cultured. And then I started getting attention. So I think I was like 16. Like, I was grown before I had my first kiss. I don't know if that's like crazy, but I was 16, and this boy took me on a date to Chick-fil-A, and it was so whack. I didn't want to do it, and I remember I didn't kiss him the whole date, and then at the end of the date he was like, can I have a kiss? And I was like,
Where my kiss at?
I was like, oh, okay. And he just went for it, and I was like, and it was really bad. He probably remembers it to this day. I definitely do. And then I never saw him again out of embarrassment. So yeah.
Honestly?
Dang.
No, I can relate to that because I was 15 when I had my first kiss.
Oh, period.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I was a little bit older too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was awkward for me because I was in high school and like
Yep.
I was parting ways. Like we were about to go to our separate classes
Mhm.
and we were holding hands and I was like, all right, bye. And then he just stood there like this. And I was like, I was looking around like, you're serious?
Like, you're doing this?
And I just like, I was like, and then I was like, all right, bye.
So awkward.
Yeah, you don't remember this story?
No, I don't. Just like we'll edit out.
No.
Who was it?
You're gonna edit it out anyway. You might as well just say it.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, what?
I don't remember that though.
I don't know how I don't remember that. There was
Did you have yours around the same time? Or no?
so I
Were you
feel
an
like-
early bloomer?
No, okay.
You were, right?
Okay, so I have like an interesting story. I feel like about this. This is like really weird. Okay. Okay, so okay. It all started. We had this friend and she was a girl
Mhm.
and Malia, we were all playing truth or dare.
Mhm.
And I think the girl like dared me to kiss her.
Ooh? Oh, your
Yeah.
first kiss was a girl.
Yeah.
Oh,
Gag.
Yeah.
Spicy.
No, literally, and I'm like, I
Spicy.
was 7 years old.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah, she was
God.
young.
Early
Yeah.
bloomer.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And
she's a
then-
little spicy little girl.
And then no, it's like I'm like a dare. What?
Wow.
And then I think I was like 8.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, I don't know why I thought this, but there was this, it was like a brother and sister duo, and we were
Okay.
friends. The brother was like 12,
Mm-hmm. To your 8.
and I was 8.
Okay.
And the sister was our age.
Okay.
So like that's why we were hanging out, because
Got you.
he had a little sister.
Right.
So we were all friends.
Did you have a crush on him?
No.
Oh.
No,
We
and
never even hung out with him.
We
either.
never
It was
hung
always
out.
with the sister, and then he just like happened to be there.
And like the parents are downstairs chatting it up, and
Gotcha.
he's like, "Do you want to kiss?" And I was like, "Well, isn't it the guy's decision?" And I was like, "Why is that
thinks
in my
that?
brain?
Who thinks that?
Why is that in my brain,
That's
bro?
something that our parents never said.
Never.
Ever.
Like, why was that in my
At
brain?
that young age, see how
8
quick society
years
starts
old.
Isn't
rolling
that
in?
crazy?
Why did I
spooky.
think that? And then I was just like, and then he just like, and then-
Ooh.
Ew.
Oh, so you were an early bloomer. 2 kisses in a year at 7? Girl.
that's wild though, right?
Wow.
But like my first real kiss, I think I was 14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
And then was still awkward.
you're still before me and Malia. That's crazy.
I know, we
What's
were-
wrong with us?
I know, because I feel like everyone like has already had their first kiss by like middle school.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I
I
don't
watched people do this. Like, I would watch people kiss in the hallways and be like, damn, like,
I wish that was me.
yeah, like, when is it gonna be my turn? And then it finally was my turn, and I was like, oh,
That was
like
not
that
it.
was weird.
That was
yeah.
not it.
And then I didn't kiss anyone again until I was in a relationship, which was like that same year. But you know,
Mm.
that's just
It's weird though. The guy that I kissed when it was like actually like my first kiss,
Mhm.
I don't think he really liked me.
Oh no.
Because we went to a school, you know, it was predominantly like a white area. And I feel like all the guys liked the idea of us.
Yes.
You know?
Ooh, girl, don't
You know.
get into that. No.
I was like, that's a whole other episode.
knows.
We'll have to do that because
We could do it.
I know we have some
stories. We've talked about
stories
this
for
off
days,
cam.
y'all.
Yeah.
Here.
We'll be
We're having a good vibe right now.
I know. We're not trying to bring down the vibe right now.
Right.
All right. So we got the next question from
Okay.
y'all. I haven't started my period yet and I'm scared and nervous.
Ooh.
What was it like the first time you got your period?
Oh.
Now, see, this is a good question for me because the reason why they diagnosed me with that is because I didn't get my period yet.
Oh.
So,
Oh my god.
really, I was just super athletic. I was like cheerleading, I was tumbling. I had like not literally like, you know, when they do the body fat compositions? I literally know mine was like non existent. Like, I was so tiny. I
Wow.
couldn't
Oh my
keep weight on me.
gosh.
That's why I'm such a snacker now. Now it backhanded on me because as a kid, I would just be like, like all these different snacks because it wasn't sticking on me. So I was just like, you know, I was burning it off so quickly.
Yeah.
Girl, times have changed. But yeah, no. So for me, when I finally got my period, it was a bigger experience for me because I was like, aren't I not supposed to be having a period? Didn't they tell me I wasn't gonna have a period? I wasn't gonna have kids. So then when it happened, it threw me off.
It's like in shock.
Yeah, it was kind of like, wait, were they wrong? Am I wrong? Is this like something wrong for me?
Wow.
So I had like a different experience than everyone else because I was like very, very confused. Like I literally remember it happening to me in school and being like, oh my God, am I dreaming? Like, you know.
Was it like a moment of relief for you?
No, it was, you would think that. Like all the years that, it was like, I had it maybe a year and a half after they told me that I wasn't going to have one. But I prayed for it, right? Like, oh my God, I just pray that one day they're wrong and I skip my period and then I'll be pregnant, right? And then it happened and I was like, oh, shoot. Like, no.
Wow.
Like, it threw me off because I didn't know if something was wrong with me or like, I don't know. So I remember going back to the doctor and like, she had already diagnosed me at that point. So she was kind of just like, it's a fluke thing. But like, what I said still stands. Like, she still stood on that. I didn't get re-diagnosed until I was like 21. So I spent most of my teen years like thinking that.
Wow.
Yeah. But so yeah, once I got my period, it kind of was just like double whammy disappointment for me because it was like, oh, like I thought this meant that I could have kids and she just stood on her diagnosis. But
So then you're just thinking like, oh, I can't have kids, but I also have to go through a period.
you
like,
know, it was like crushing. Like I'm bleeding for what? Like you know what I
like,
mean?
what's the
Yeah, it felt like a sick joke. I was like, why me?
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry,
you know.
sucks.
Oh, girl, no. We're over that now. We had a much better doctor who knew exactly what was going on.
Yes.
Re-diagnosed me. So
That's the hard
I
thing
can
with
have
doctors
kids.
too.
Mhm.
Oh my
Girl.
gosh. Like
Yeah.
finding the right one because they don't really care about you. The healthcare system sucks here. Like
Garbage. And you know what was crazy? That's why I know I'm just a spiritual person. I know everybody's not. I know that y'all are. But that's why I know God did that to me on purpose because when that happened, my parents were like, we need to get a second opinion because that's a big claim.
Yeah.
So we went and got a second opinion up at CHOP, which is like the main hospital in Philly. And so when we started telling the doctors there, it was 2 men this time, but we started telling them my story and they're like, oh, we can stop you right there. We already heard about your story. Your doctor emailed us. We're the one that gave her that diagnosis for you.
Oh, wow.
So it wasn't really a second opinion
No.
because the first one came from them. She just didn't tell us that. So yeah, after that I was just over it.
You
girl.
got
I was
it.
like, whatever. We're
Oh
done
my
with the doctor.
God.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Wow.
my experience was probably different from y'all's. How about y'all?
I feel like for me, I was kind of like a late bloomer with my period. And I remember, I think I was like going into high school,
Yep.
13, 14, and I'm like, where's she at?
Yeah.
Everybody's becoming a woman over here, and I'm here like,
yeah,
I'm
because I
still a
already
little
got
girl,
mine,
you know?
Right.
Like where is it?
All my friends, they could like relate about the periods, and I'm just
Yep.
like, it almost feels like a little like club that you're joining.
Yeah.
It's like I'm joining the grown woman club.
Yes.
And you know, 13-year-old me, I thought I was grown.
Yes.
It's like, oh no, I know everything
yes.
except about a period.
Now I have a period, so
Yeah. So after I did get it, I think for me like the biggest like struggle I guess was just tampons. I was like, I don't know how to use this. I was
like
scared.
screaming in the bathroom. She was like, I don't know how to do this. My mom's like, just do it.
Well, because I was like that day.
She's being so dramatic.
I think I was like, oh, this is what a period's supposed to be like. You're supposed to be crazy
Yeah.
or something. You know, like I had that like idea.
Yes.
And I guess it just wore off on me because I was like going insane. I was like, Mom, we're going to the mall with Grandma. And we were going to the mall with Grandma.
Right.
We were. And I was like, we're going to have to walk around and I don't want to wear a pad. I want to wear a tampon. She's like, okay, you can do it. Like, she was very gentle. She was like, you can, you know, she like explained me how you would do it. And I was like, okay, like, I got this. And I'm at the toilet and I'm like, I don't got this. I was like, this is like going down.
I'm like, what?
And there are different types of tampons that are like easier than others.
Right.
Like, you know, the plastic applicator ones that kind of click? Those are so much easier to me because it's just like click, push. Like, but the other ones that are like the natural ones that are better for you, of course, they're more difficult.
The cardboard?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Girl.
Who would cardboard? I'm like, I'm sorry, what?
Girl,
no, thank you.
That was a mess. You know, it's crazy. Actually, since you are a late bloomer too, I feel like we should tell your audience, if they don't know, it's okay to late bloom.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like there's so many different reasons. For me, I feel like it happened because, like I said, I didn't have any body fat on me to have a period. So, like, that's something that scientifically people should know. You need to, you know, your body has to hold some fat to be able to carry that type of, you know, bodily process.
And everybody's different. Everybody's body's different. I mean, even Malia and I, we're so close in age and stuff. So I was like, oh, like, we're so close. We're almost like twins. Why aren't we going through the same things?
Right.
But it's okay. Everybody's
so
different.
Stress, time, genes, body composition. Like, there's so many different reasons. So if your doctor tells you something crazy, tell him wait it out.
Yeah.
Yep. And or get an actual second opinion.
Yeah. Or 3 or 4 or 5.
Yep.
You know, don't
sometimes that's needed.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So sorry. My experience was really fun.
I love it.
For me, I don't remember the actual day that I started my period. It was actually like pretty normal. The only thing that I remember was like I'd get my period 1 month and then it would skip like a month or 2. Yeah. And then I'd get it again. So it was kind of weird for me because like it was super irregular for the first like maybe year. Yeah. And it was kind of nice because then I'd start and then randomly
good till Christmas.
Later. Yeah, I'm like, okay, whatever, like whatever you come, I guess.
That happened to my best friend. She was a swimmer and hers was really irregular and her doctors were trying to figure out what was wrong with her, but then once she stopped swimming, it was regular.
Yeah.
It's
interesting.
Just weird. It's just weird.
Yeah.
It's not a curse, but she's just an unexplainable mystery.
It's funny the difference, like when I was younger versus now. Like I take a lot of supplements, and I know we did like an episode on this before, but I used to get like really bad periods when I got older. Like I'd pass out and everything.
Oh, wow.
And like I'd throw up, and it was
oh, wow.
And it caused like a whole bunch of hormonal problems. But like when I initially started, when I was like in middle school, I didn't have cramps at all. Like I remember people saying like, oh, like I get cramps and it hurts, and I'm like, what? I didn't even know. I thought they were lying. I was like, I've never experienced a cramp in my life. And then like a few years down the road,
she jinxed it.
I jinxed it, and it was like, bam! Like it was. Oh my gosh.
Was yours the same way? Did you have cramps?
I get cramps. For me, I feel like every like 3 months. So like if I had 3 periods, 1 out of 3, I'll have pretty bad cramps. But it's not every single time. It's always the first day. The first day I usually can't do nothing. I'm just like
the first day is a lot.
You know?
Yeah. First and second day for me.
Girl, it'd be the end of it for me.
Really?
If we trying to make a grand exit. Like, oh my God.
Really?
Yeah, that's where I'm at today. No. It's fine. I'm strong.
I was like, I got Midol in my purse if you want some.
See, I be trying not to do that. I be trying to just tough it out because I don't know what in my brain makes me feel like that's a good thing to do.
I do the same thing unless I absolutely need it. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to take, because my body gets used to it for some reason. And then I have to keep up in the dosage. I'm like, okay, I can't take 2 because that doesn't work. And I have to take 3.
Yes.
Like,
I don't take any like Advil or Midol or anything unless I'm like, oh girl, like I can't get out of bed because then it just hits so much better because your body doesn't really have it in its system. So like imagine when you have a really bad headache and you haven't taken an Advil for like 6 months.
That's true.
Gone.
It's gonna help.
Yeah. Gone. That's my logic. It's like self-torture.
That's my logic.
Yeah. Like I need to feel the pain.
Yeah.
But if you were that girl that was asking the question about periods and like what to expect, I feel like most people have very normal experiences with their period, and it's not something that's super scary. It's something that's natural, and it's gonna eventually happen to your body in your body's timing, in the due time that is right for you. And you don't have to be nervous about it, but maybe keep some panty liners, some pads, some tampons in your backpack for school. Just in case. Be prepared. An extra pair of underwear, honestly, too. Extra pair of pants. Just in case. Not to be worried or anything, but just in case.
That way you're prepared and you're ready to go.
And if any of your friends start, you got the hookup too.
Yeah. Oh, I remember I was in high school one time and I like unexpectedly started my period and it wasn't supposed to come at all. And then I went to the bathroom and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So I remember I was like on the toilet and I was like, does anyone have a tampon? I had to ask because I didn't have one in my backpack at all. And I didn't even know because I thought I had to just pee, I guess. And then she was like, I'm here.
She flowed.
Yeah.
That's scary.
And no one
Auntie
did.
Flo.
So I had to make the little toilet paper.
Yep. Oh my God. The little toilet paper pad.
yeah.
Oh, girl. Do you guys like pads or tampons?
I'm a tampon girl
girl.
because
Yeah.
I have a heavy flow.
Right.
Like I have
Yeah,
the
me too.
ultra ones. I remember I would have tampons for my friends and they're like, what the hell is this? I'm not using no
You're
ultra.
the big, large ones?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the light ones never work for me. I'm like, what? Because I'm going to be
Yeah.
changing this like
Every 30 minutes.
Well, because even with the
sooner, bro.
ultra, even with the
Especially
ultra,
first and second day, I'm like, oh no.
I go through those, you know?
Right.
So yeah, I think we get that from our mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's another thing too. Everyone's flows are different.
Yeah.
So-
Mine's not that heavy anymore, but that's because I'm kind of cheating on my birth control. So let's
Yeah.
I'm kind of cheating. It thins her out a little bit, but I like to try to use pads as much as I can because I heard, I don't know if it's like a myth and they just want us to suffer, but I heard that if you use pads, your period goes by quicker because it's just like the chemicals that are in tampons like want you to have a longer period so that you have to buy more tampons.
Why the hell are there
Isn't that
chemicals
crazy?
in tampons?
Yeah, so I
Like-
try to do the like natural pad thing because
Okay.
it like
Oh my
makes it
gosh.
allegedly better.
I wouldn't doubt if that's true
Yeah.
because
I wouldn't.
I mean I
Mhm.
buy natural tampons,
Mhm.
which the
Oh,
applicators
that's better.
suck, but they are supposedly better. But like,
Yeah.
man,
it's
I
just a
feel like I have to
conspiracy.
try that now. I'm like,
Companies-
maybe I'll try it.
I don't want the tampon companies to come after me. It is just a conspiracy, girl. I don't know.
Impact is like, girl, shut up.
Yeah, I got one right now, girl. It's fine.
Oh my god.
It's fine.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I guess the next question is, how to get out of a friend group without causing any drama?
Oh my God, don't ask me, girl.
I feel like
Don't
that's
ask
so
me. Girl, it's always drama. And I just think people take it really personal. And like, I always say, like, I don't really care. Like, if something doesn't work out with like a friendship, it just wasn't supposed to work out to me. Like,
right.
I learned from you probably. I laughed with you.
Yeah.
Like, and that's fine. Like, we don't have to be friends forever. It's a season, a lifetime, or a reason, really, to me.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I don't know. I think a lot of time drama happens because people just want to like, it's like a possession thing. Like I
Mhm.
think girls, especially just in women's friendships, it's like we just want to feel like, no, like you're my sister. Like it has to be that forever.
Mhm.
But it's like we grow and we change. So I think the best way, something that I'm trying to do better at, is being like, just explaining. Because I think for me, if somebody does all this like rah, 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 rah drama stuff, I would just clock out. I would never say anything again.
Mhm.
Like, I'll just, okay, you're talking to a wall. Like, that's fine. But I don't think that that's like the healthiest thing either because, you know, you deserve to say your piece. And so my advice would be to speak your piece healthily. And it doesn't have to be like a fight.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
And
okay.
Even like slowly distancing yourself. I feel like it's hard
Mhm.
if you're in high school. If you see these people every day, it adds a different level to this because you still want to be cordial.
Yeah.
You
Right.
still want to be able to be friendly with these people
Right.
and not be like, oh, I can't see you
Mhm.
down the halls. If you're by my locker, like you don't want
Yeah.
that. You don't want
Yeah.
that energy. So I think if you like slowly distance yourself from friends and like just start making new friends, it doesn't have to be,
Yeah.
oh, I don't like you anymore. It doesn't have to be toxic. It doesn't have to be, maybe it's just not the best thing for you in this
Right.
moment.
Yeah.
And you can slowly kind of distance yourself. I feel like that's okay too.
You need to
Yeah.
also be able to recognize when like someone is just not compatible with you.
Mhm.
Like,
Yes.
for example, if I have certain trauma and your trauma like clashes with that, we probably shouldn't be friends because we're probably going to enable each other.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or if we
Mhm.
have like the same exact trauma and we're like enabling each other, it's like, I don't, because I love you, we shouldn't be friends.
Right.
Because
It just might
I'm
not
going to
help
hurt
you.
you. Yeah. Like,
Right.
I don't have the answers to be able to guide you as a friend
Or vice versa.
or vice versa.
Yeah.
So it's like, because of that, I literally love you so much. I want you to go on your own journey.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, I've had to do that. And
Yeah.
it doesn't mean I don't love you.
Yeah.
It's almost the exact opposite, you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think too, as girls, I don't know if y'all relate to this, but I feel like we naturally want to be besties with everybody.
Yes.
Mhm.
When you don't have to be besties off the gate.
Mhm.
Inch into your relationships. Be an observer.
Yeah.
I feel like that's one thing I've really learned is like watch how people talk about their other friends
Yeah.
Mhm.
before you decide that they're your bestie.
Mhm.
Because if they're talking shit about their besties, they might not be a healthy person.
Yeah,
and they
they're
might
gonna
not
start
be good
talking
for
shit
you.
about you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm like,
exactly.
ooh, okay. See on my lips.
Noted. Yeah.
I
I won't be telling you anything.
Yeah, no, because that's just weird. And honestly, maybe it's just me being like an energy person, but I just feel like if you know you feel that way towards a person, why are you around her? Like, you know,
Right.
if I'm like, oh my God, I hate this person, she's so this, she's so that, like, I wouldn't want to spend time with that person. anymore.
Yeah.
But when I see somebody do that and then they're posted up like, bestie. I'm like,
yeah.
girl,
I'm appalled.
That's crazy.
I'm like low-key appalled when people do that because I'm
Yeah.
like, you were just talking mad stuff and that girl doesn't deserve that.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like a big thing is like your friend's business is not your friend's business. Like if you're my friend and you're telling me something, that's not your business. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, okay,
That's
you
between
told
and
me that.
Right.
It's not a Kiki. Like let me call Makenzie. Like guess what Malia said?
Exactly.
What? That's
Because it's
not-
really
that.
Malia's business. And if she wanted to
Yes.
tell me, she would have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like
Yes.
that's gossiping is so hard.
I know.
Like I
Bad
feel like
energy.
it's so
Yeah.
prominent though. Like
Yes.
it just happens.
But you can feel though, it's very, like you said, negative energy.
It is.
You know?
Mhm.
And
It's
I'm
just
like,
like,
I'm not
ugh.
trying to be surrounded by that.
It's just draining. Like don't
It-
get something
It
better
is
to talk
draining.
about. Yeah.
I don't want to feel drained. That's one thing. If you feel drained after hanging out with a group of friends or just one friend, it's like, you know, it's not good and it's toxic.
Mhm.
No, literally, we hung out for like almost like 2 days straight. Like when you guys came, and not one time did like anyone else come up. Not like, oh my god, they're lying. No, like literally, we didn't like. There's
Because
why? Like there's so much other stuff to talk about.
reason
Yeah.
to just talk bad about other people because for one, then you're putting negative energy into your circle, into your day, and it's like, why when we could just be positive? Like literally,
uplifting.
Yeah.
Or it's like even when I do see people going through something, my first thought is not like, oh, she saw this or she saw that. I'm like, oh, I hope she gets through this. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
'Cause we
like
all
you're
do
rooting
different
for
things
them.
for different reasons, and like I don't know people's stories, so like who am I to be in a position to be like, she's doing this? Like, okay, you know,
exactly.
Yeah.
God help her through that, you know. And
I'm a
my
pray from a
business.
distance.
Yeah, because you know, when people be like, "Oh, I would never," God will show you, and you start never like you never did before, and I don't want that on me, God.
Oh my
Uh-uh.
gosh. Okay. The next question. I'm starting my first year of college. What are your tips for not getting along with roommates?
Oh my God, gag! You guys are just asking me. This is just crazy. I don't have to answer because I literally did not get along with my roommates. Like I had
Really?
a
Oh my gosh.
terrible, terrible first year. I'm not giving big sis energy right now. But
No, I mean,
No,
this
I
is
feel
real.
like
This
it's
is real.
real.
Honestly,
This
it's big
is
sis
raw.
energy to us because like we never went to college, so like we didn't have
Okay.
that experience. But like
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine living with anyone other than Makenzie, and then obviously like you know my
Now, see,
partner
I was
one day,
living
but-
with 3 girls. So we had like a quad at school. And so it was 2 and 2 per room, but the 3 of them were already friends. And I literally told myself I didn't want to get myself into the situation because I knew if there was any issue, it's going to be me against all of them.
Oh no.
And so what I will say is, as advice, get a mix of girls in the dorm. If you're going to do like 2, 3, 4 girls, like get a mix because all of them, you know, kind of already having a relationship definitely strained my relationship with them. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't get along with them for the silliest reasons. Like we had different majors. And so my best friend wasn't them because I'm spending time with the girl that's in my major. You know, we're studying in the library all night. That's my
Right.
best friend. They started to feel a way about that. Like, well, you spend more time with her than you spend with us. And
Oh no.
that's when things got messy. And then she got involved because she's defending me. And it was too much. And so I think, although in growth and healing, I understand that they may have felt rejected like by me because I think they thought we were going to build this like really close sisterhood. And so when they saw me build it with someone else, that probably bothered them.
Okay.
And so in my maturing, in my big sis energy, I understand that, you know, I understand how they may have felt, and I probably could have been a little bit more gentle about understanding that. But yeah, we didn't really mend that situation. We all just ended up moving into different. I moved out because it was just unsafe for me at that point. But I will say, what I will say in the future is what I've learned from that experience is to communicate. Like things do not have to be. We don't have to have a separate group chat. And I hate when Taty does this and you could literally just tell me. Like,
Right.
I hate when you come over here with your best friend girl when you don't spend time with us. Okay, let's hang out tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're all grown.
Yeah.
You know, we can fix the issue like this, but I think when things get harder, like we talked about earlier, and
Yeah.
not speaking on your feelings, and secret animosity happens. It's like, I think communication is the biggest thing. Even though when you have a roommate in college, you don't know these people, this is not your best friend, you
Right.
don't feel comfortable, you might be scared to communicate. If you don't, ish is gonna go south.
And it's kind of like a boundary thing too, because like if you
Yeah.
don't set boundaries with them and you don't know them, like
That's what happened to me.
they're gonna be crossing every
The girl in my room
line.
was using my soap, and it was empty. And I had the good soap, like that big Olay soap, you know? And I had it for like a few days, and it was good. Olay, hit me up. But it was gone, and I was like, girl, hold on. I don't think we addressed, like, you could fast. You know, just don't do it. Like, so I asked her, I was like, have you been using my soap? And she lied at first, and the second day she was like, okay, yeah, girl, I've been using your soap. And I was like, okay. And then she replaced it, but she replaced it with the mini one instead of the big one that I got. And then that made me feel away. And, it's just little college stuff. Like, that could be talked about. Like, hey, do you want to share these items? Do you not want to share these items? Okay, let's set the boundary.
I feel like stepping into womanhood and adulthood is learning how to deal with confrontation and being able to be confrontational. Because, yes, it can be scary. But at the end of the day, if you're feeling some type of way, if you don't like what somebody's doing, you can say it in a respectful manner that's not going to piss people off. You know?
You can do it in a nice way, but still get your point across.
Yes. And I also think boundaries are important because it's like different groups are for different things. So like your roommates can be like your group, and you can also have a separate group of friends. Like I think sometimes when people go to college, they make their roommates their only friends.
They're everything.
And that can go left because you're living with these people, especially it's the first time you're living with people other than your family.
Right.
And so you're constantly around these people. So when you like make that's like making your boyfriend your whole life. You're constantly around somebody and that's their only life. Things start to go south like that. It's like you get more irritable, it's more arguments, it's resentment. I would say build a life outside of your roommates. Build a group outside of your roommates.
See, she got tips, y'all. She was like, no, I don't got tips.
You
she
do.
got tips.
I mean,
you're knowledgeable, girl.
I guess, girl. I don't know.
She's like, she's trying to be humble.
Learn from my mistakes. I mean, I didn't do it right the first time. You know what I'm saying? And so I think the advice that I have is from my mistakes. Like I went through being insecure and being negatively self-talking to myself. Now I know to tell people how not to do that. I went through the issues with my roommates. Now I know how to,
Right.
Yeah.
I went through them, I went through the mud.
Right.
Oh.
But I'm okay now.
Oh, good. No, I love the tips.
I know. Literally giving big sis energy vibes. All right. Next question is how to make friends in a new city. It's hard moving out of the state and finding new friends. It seems hard to find a girl's girl.
Ooh, still working on that one.
Yeah.
I think for me in LA, it's probably difficult because not to do that to LA, but things can get very, very superficial here. And so like, I don't want to talk about gossip. I don't want to do all that, and not to put that on all of LA because that's not what it is. But because my boyfriend is a DJ, we're consistently in that environment. We're in the clubs, we're, what I'm saying? And so I think there are different types of people in different areas. And so I think it's probably a little difficult to make friends when you keep yourself to one environment. And so I would say to put yourself in different environments. Yes. I've made more friends going to like Pilates, and like I'm picking up tennis again. I've made some friends there. Like doing the things that are outside of your daily routine is probably where you're going to make community.
Yeah, trying new things, putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
Getting out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
I feel like, because when Malia and I, we were, we got taken out of school. We did online for 3 years. And then after that, we moved out. But we still didn't have no friends.
Right.
Like, we were very isolated. And yes, we were comfortable being isolated. But I was like, okay, well, what's the worst that can happen?
Right.
What's the worst that can happen if I try something new?
Yes.
And I push my own personal boundaries, and I step out and I try something. Yes. I might meet people, and I did.
Period.
And I was like, I know there's nothing wrong with me. Like, I feel like when you're alone, but you don't have a social outlet, you almost start to think like, okay, well, what am I doing wrong? You start to self-reflect. Yeah. And which is such a good thing. I feel like it is important to be like, okay, am I being a good friend? Am I doing all the things right? Because you want to get that right first as well, and be a good person to the people in your life, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think that was something that was constantly through my head. Am I being a good friend? Why did this happen? Why did this happen? And I would rethink like friendships and relationships. And I was like, no, I think I'm a good person. I was like, I think I'm a good person. And I think I just need to put myself in new situations because the people that I used to have in my life, that I used to, go to high school with, that I used to work with, they weren't necessarily my cup of tea. And that's okay. That's okay. Nothing against them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Different strokes for different folks. And like who you're friends with when you're young is so hard to still be friends with the same people when you're older. And I do still have my home friends, don't get me wrong. But
so
like I also outgrew a lot of my home friends, and that's okay too. It's like it's okay to outgrow, it's okay to learn. Like we're just in different spaces. And I also don't like when people think that like if someone's saying that, oh, I outgrew this person, that means that like you're better than that person. Like that doesn't mean that you're saying that you're above this person. It's just you can also grow equally in two different directions.
Right.
Different places in life, for sure.
That doesn't mean that one is like better than the other. It's just different things.
And it's okay to like move on from that.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to be besties with them still. Like you can still like stay in contact with them, but it's like
wish you the best from a distance.
Yeah.
Yep. Do you have another question?
All right, the last question is, I asked my friends to hang out and they said, I guess. Is that something I have the right to be upset about?
Yes. That was
like,
so unnecessary.
yes.
That was so unnecessarily rude. What do you mean you guess? Like, child, maybe it's the psychology of me because we could talk about this for 20 minutes. But sometimes people will do things like that just to like make you feel small. Like, you know, like, oh, I guess. You know, it's just not necessary. You could have said yes or no. Or maybe, like, let me see what my schedule is. I would love to. Or like, if you don't like them like that, then just say no, girl.
Yeah,
exactly. I get
I was
That's
going to
so
say,
passive.
I was like, they obviously don't care about their relationship at all. So they're honestly not worth your time.
At all.
Sure. You know?
better than that, girl. Or guy or them.
Anybody. Yeah. For sure. Oh, we have some rapid fire questions, and they're actually on your side of the table.
Yes.
Oh,
so if
grab,
you
they have
want
big
to look,
can I look at them?
Yes.
Okay.
And they're
So I have to
basically
do
like finish the sentence. So it's gonna say blank, 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 dot, dot, dot.
Okay.
And then you're just gonna finish it with
I already
whatever.
see the first. Okay, I would never date anyone who is rude to service workers. I think that's a turn off.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is.
Biggest celebrity crush when I was younger was Taylor Lautner. In Twilight, Jacob. I had a whole cutout poster of him in my basement. That
Basement
would kiss.
Oh my gosh. Next question.
Next question. The first thing I ever did without my parents' permission was sneak out the house. Sneak out the house. I would go sneak out the house and go to a party. And then
She's like
go there,
light.
not even drink, not even do anything, just to be there and just be in the corner like,
oh my God, I snuck out.
here.
We would go to Walmart and buy snacks in the middle of the night.
Yeah,
Just
me
for
too.
fun.
Just to be like a rebel. We're like, we could have done this during the day.
So this is a common experience because that's why we got in trouble the first time we did it. Me and my best friend, we snuck out just to get chicken nuggets from Wegmans, and we left the freaking receipt on the counter. And then her mom found it in the morning, like, "What were you guys doing at 2 a.m.?" We're like, "We just went to get chicken nuggets."
Oh my gosh.
She was like, sure.
Yeah, sure. I'm a private person when it comes to maybe not to get deep, but maybe sometimes like as deep as my insecurities probably get, like when they do come up, because I feel like I do have to be like big sis to everybody else, and so I probably don't talk about it as often online when like I'm going through something. I did it today, but I don't really talk about it as often online because I don't want them to feel like hopeless, like, oh, she's not confident, and like, well, you know, because I'm supposed to be that for them,
right?
Yeah, so I'm probably private about that, but I'm trying to be more public about it.
But it's good to show that you're like vulnerable too. Like I feel like it's hhuman, you know, to feel like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying, guys. I'm trying.
Hard,
if I were to mentor someone, the first thing I would teach them is to love yourself first, and on a more specific level than that, because that's very broad, is to remove any validation that doesn't come from self, and any validation that, when I say self, that means internally. So external validation is also validating yourself by, oh, I have a nice body, or I have nice hair. That's also external, just because that is on yourself, that is not in yourself. And so any validation that isn't within you is a dub. I say make a list of the things that you love about yourself and highlight them as often as possible, whether that's you being charismatic, go see more people more often. If that's you being compassionate, be their shoulder for your friend more often. Like, highlight the things that you really value about yourself that are nothing to do with things that we can't control.
Oh, I love that.
I would say.
That's so good.
3 items I always carry with me are lip liner, lipstick, and lip gloss.
Ooh,
that
was fast.
I was gonna say your
she
combo,
got it quick.
My
your lip combo is it, girl.
Thank you, sister. Yeah, that's all of them.
Okay. Well, our very last question is,
Okay.
what's one piece of big sis advice that you would give to your younger self?
Okay, not to get emotional, but the one thing that I would tell my little Taty self is that the same thing that I just said about mentoring. I would tell her that just because people are not giving you the attention that they are giving others doesn't mean that you're not worthy of it. Just because you're not having the experience that others are having doesn't mean that your experience isn't just as beautiful, and that you're not just as beautiful, and that you are going to go on to be the coolest girl that you always wanted to be. You're going to get your fairy tale love. You're going to get everything that you ever desired, and to not sell myself short. I would probably tell her that. She needed it, girl.
Oh my gosh,
I love
y'all
y'all not gonna make me cry in here.
That was like the best. Wow, that was a good ass answer.
Yes.
Thanks.
Taty, we love you.
This went by so
We love
quick.
you.
I'm
I
like,
know.
oh my gosh.
Girl, we be chatting it up for hours.
We be
I know,
chatting.
But thank y'all so much for having me. This was so fun.
Thank you for coming on. This was awesome. This was so much fun.
We're gonna have to do
like
this again.
continue this.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously.
Our sister chats.
I'm like, we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
So we
Guys,
gonna go to
Make sure to check out her podcast,
Yay.
1-800 Self-Love Club.
Period.
And make sure to follow us on Big Sis Energy on Instagram with 2 Ys. And yeah, we will see
y'all in next
y'all
week's
later.
episode. Bye.